Hey everybody, I know it's been a bit, like 8 months since I've done a video, kind of on purpose. I was going to do a couple of videos coming off the PCT. I was going to give a little time for the dust to settle. I thought about doing a final thoughts like I did on the AT, but I, I don't know. If you look at the AT final thoughts, it's pretty much the same thing, so I didn't want to bore everybody. It's not much different as far as how I feel. I'm on kind of autopilot and kind of doing what I'm doing. I thought about doing like a AT versus PCT video. Maybe that would be kind of cool, and it might be, and I might do something like that a little bit down the road. But I also just felt like I got to do a video, and I think if you're trying to create content, it feels like you're just creating content. That's not what the channel's about. Channel's just about who I am, all the big hikes, and trying to find the levity in it all, trying to show the fun and the lifestyle, and try to not show too much of the bad stuff to discourage anybody. That's what this is all about. I also gear videos. I don't do those. If you're new, I think they're real boring. There's a lot of people out there going to do much better job than me because they really like doing it and I don't, so go watch their videos. This video, of course, is my 2025 trail announcement, and it's also the health update. Also, for people that are new here, health update for me is always an important thing. In 2019, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer that had obviously metastasized in my colon, and it had already spread to the stomach lining. And after I was getting treated, it then spread to my liver and also my lungs. So everybody, I know that sounds real bad, but if people that have been on here for a while, they're like, yeah, whatever, because it's been a whole journey. But new people, I'm okay. So the health update, I'll do that first to get that out of the way. Started really getting into through hiking in 2018, cancer is 2019, and went through cancer and the pandemic and all that stuff. And I was able to get back out miraculously in 22. When I came back from the 2022 hike, I was going to do the AT, Appalachian Trail. But when I got back and did all my cancer scans and everything, I again flunked those, as I always do. So I had to go back into chemo. I've had a grand total of 50 rounds of chemo and 7 surgeries since 2019, end of 2019, almost 2020. So then I was able to, after chemo, I took the AT and got through it. And then when I got back from the AT, of course, it's time to do scans again. When I did those, I have kept my streak alive, and I flunked them again. So it had come back. I don't even remember what it was. I don't know if it was something. It came back, or more stuff. I think it was in my lung. I don't know. Cancer. So I had to go back into chemo again, and I came out. When I came out of chemo before, I had 3 weeks before I started the AT, and then when I went back into chemo after the AT, I came out of that 5 weeks before I started the PCT last year. 2024, and I was able to get through the PCT. All those videos for since my hiking since 22 up is all below. Let's see, where was I at? The PCT. So I finished the PCT, had a blast with that, as you've seen in the videos. Again, I went to take my tests. So that was, at the end of 24, beginning of 25. I flunked all my scans. I'm consistent. This time though, it was a little different. Nothing internal. It hadn't spread. I've got some spots. I've got one spot still in my stomach, and then I've got small spots in my lungs. They haven't gotten any larger. There's no change, so I am good enough. But I did have, and I felt it on the PCT. As you lose weight, you can feel more of yourself. Abdomen, I could feel a knot of some kind. And that's what it was. Turns out I had about an inch and maybe a little over an inch in length and kind of just circumference tumor in my abdominal wall. So I met with the team, and we decided that we could get it all out with surgery. And surgery is great because surgery, you get instant results. Chemo is a long, arduous, painful, miserable time, and then you scan and go, pretty good. Get out there and hike. I had surgery on February 15th, about a 3.5-inch scar added to the plethora of Frankenstein scars on my abdomen anyway, so it's not a big deal. I was in the hospital for 2 days, I think. Maybe I went home on the third. I don't know. It wasn't too bad. I'm all good, no chemo. So I have the green light. You can find me if you're curious about between the videos of her hiking, you just want to see what I'm doing. Usually it's, try to catch up with me health-wise. Just plug my name in, Jeff Bonvine, Instagram. There's just one. And feel free to follow along. And that's a pretty good place to just catch me kind of every day. So the 2025 trail announcement, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty sure I've said this in other videos, but this is for the new people. Back in 2019, 20, going through everything that I went through and sitting out the pandemic, I think everybody was kind of grounded a bit. I'd kind of put together my hiking plan all the way through 2028. I thought that was a positive way to kind of spend my time. I am following along so far. It was supposed to be the AT in 23 and then the PCT in 24, so those are done. I think people thought my next logical one would be, you probably can put that together. And it was. But I thought, well, the AT and the PCT are very different, but they're not dissimilar from one another. I thought, I'm not going to be so rigid. I'm going to change my schedule and I'm going to swap years. I'm going to do something different in 25, and then I'll catch up with the original hike a little later, maybe 26 or 7. And I'd pretty much made up my mind, but somewhere along the line, I changed my mind again. So I'm back on my original schedule, and that's what I'm going to do. So for 2025, I am going to go ahead and stay and complete the Triple Crown, and I am doing the CDT. So the CDT is a little over 3,000 miles. And I started the AT and the PCT on the same day, April 4th. I started my very first Camino back in 2018, the Camino Frances, and on April 4th too. So it's kind of a thing with me. The CDT, I'm gonna Sobo. I'm gonna go bound on the CDT. So I have to leave later in the year, so the 4-4 is out. I am going to take off on the CDT right around June 11th. Could be the 10th, could be the 12th. Right in there. I'll be in town basically in Montana on the 9th, getting ready to go. I did not get a permit for Glacier. You can get in the lottery, but they reserve like a third of them or 35% for walk-ups. But the walk-ups, you got to get there early, and a lot of times you're looking to get it for the next day to start. And that's fine. You just have to be flexible, and I am. And the reason I did that is because I decided not to get the permit in the lottery. Is some people I've heard did that, and then they got there and the weather kind of changed on them, like 2 or 3 days to start off. I heard some people, the weather kicked them off, and so their lottery deal wasn't any good, and they had to just do walk-ups anyway. Then I've also heard the other way. But I was kind of going through the docs and everything, and surgery, and not knowing exactly, and I had rescans to take a look. I wasn't 100%, and I didn't want to just get in the lottery and pull my permit and then not be able to go, and then I've just taken away from somebody else. It's better to just be flexible, get in, hang out. I'm sure there'll be some other hikers there, and I'm sure there's pizza somewhere, and I'll just hang out and camp maybe in town or somewhere, or there's a couple of hostels around there. I'll just hang out for a day or two until it's my time to go, and just go. It'll be good. I will be videoing the whole thing as I did before. I don't know what the internet will be like. The AT, obviously you have good internet. The PCT, you have terrible. My idea is to try and load up videos the next day so you're almost in real time. I think that's a lot of fun. A lot of work, but it's a lot of fun for everybody because they can kind of really follow along. So that being said, I may be gone for on the PCT, I'd be gone 5, 6, 7 days, and you wouldn't hear anything from me. All of a sudden, 2 more videos that all happened within 24 hours. That's because I was in town and internet and charging and all that stuff. But I'll do my very best to put them up as quick as I can and get everything in. Okay, that's it. I think, I know what I was going to tell you guys. Next week, I am going, is it the May, what is it? It's 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th? I don't know. I'm going to travel over I live in Michigan. I'm going to travel I'm headed to Damascus. I'm going to go to AT Trail Days. I'll walk in the parade with my class, the class of 23, the greatest class of the AT, but you already know that. I'm excited. But I think that's going to be fun. I didn't get to do that last year because obviously I was on the PCT. Try and support everybody, and it's going to be great to see everyone and walk with my class. I'll make a video of that. Everyone liked the video that I made. AT trail days when I went through when I was on the AT. So I'll do another video of that. So you'll see that too coming up here next before I hit the trail for the CDT. That's it. Good to see you guys again. I appreciate everyone. Thank you everyone for all your support. CDT, here we come.